So we have Viva, freehold, 235 units, same age as Rochelle at Newton, but the 99 years one beats Viva over here. Next up, the next area that I'm choosing to analyze is the Newton Novena area. Okay, coming into, let's take a look at the master plan over here. Jumping back over here to the master plan, and let's go over to Novena. Okay, so over in Novena, wow, they say there's the Novena medical hub transformation. I take that with a pinch of salt. I like to see where are the empty plots available. So over here, of course, the big, most interesting one, you see this huge subject to detailed planning but colored in residential coloring. Okay, we also have another one over here. So all this is beside and near Tan Tock Seng lah. Right, and we have a couple, right, over here currently you see quite a fair bit of condos, but there is still a lot of empty land, right? You just have to click around. If there is no name like this kind of the condo, it means it's likely a empty plot of land destined for future development, right? So that is over in the Novena area. If we come down slightly, right, for those of you who know, this is United Square, the dark blue ones over here. So over here is Derbyshire Road. We have a huge plot over here. This huge plot over here destined for residential use as well. So another empty plot of land. And if we go down towards Newton, right? Sorry, not very good with. Okay, if you go down over to Newton, okay, the most interesting part about Newton, of course, if we are familiar with the area, doesn't look like they have a lot of land. The last nice plot, which is has already been taken up by Kopar at Newton. But other than that, what's perhaps a little bit more interesting is this plot, right? They have not yet really decided what they want to do, which is why they are still classified under reserve site. Okay, the whole area around Newton MRT, together with the current temporary office, also is considered a LTA temporary office, is also considered a reserve site. So once all this comes into play, but over here, there are some small plots of reserve potential land still in the Cane Hill area as well. But over in Newton, not so much about new empty land, but I want, for the sake of this particular case study, there are more interesting units to be found over in Newton for us to learn, which is why I'm diving into Newton more as opposed to Novena, right? Let's take a look. So not as much in terms of transformation, or not as exciting as I would like to say as compared to River Valley, right? New MRT coming up, empty land beside it, right? But Newton, Novena, we have all known to be one of the main things that come to mind when you talk about the CCR. We also have a lot of condos over there, so a lot of case studies for us to learn from, okay? Alright. So the performance of Newton condos, again, right, what I wanted to do was to sort of find what is the high water mark for these condominiums over at Newton Novena. While they were not as high, not like 2,800 PSF, not as high as River Valley, but they also have a decently high watermark, right? We see Park Infinia at Winam have hit 2,500 PSF before, Viva, Trilight 2005, 2003, 2002 PSF for Soleil Sinaran, right, which is about there. If you look at some of the new launches in that area, not too far off, but not as good as I would say, not as good as River Valley, where you can find new launches below the high water mark of the resale developments over there, but still a pretty decent ones, right? I'm comparing this to, let's say, the RCR, whereby the high water mark of anything else in the area may be 1,008 PSF, but you have to accept new benchmark prices set for condos at 2001, 2002, right? If you go to Ang Mo Kio, the high water mark of anything in that area is probably 1,008 PSF, but 1,006 PSF, right? But you now have to enter 500 PSF more than any high water mark over there, okay? Right, next up, right? Again, I've picked up 10 developments over in District 11, over at Newton MRT, and let's take a look at what we can gain or gather out of these case studies. Over here, okay, so if we were to again compare them based on annualized capital gains, right, percentage annualized capital gains, right, let's take a look. So rank first is Park Infinia at Winam, of course, the biggest unit over, the biggest development over there, freehold, right, quite understandably so to be the best, the one that does the best, similar to Rivergate, right? So if you're buying freehold, the biggest one in the area, you are very, very safe. Okay? But what's interesting over here to see is the next two. Again, right? Remember the previous one, in River Valley, is also the next two that was very, very interesting. But this next two, why is it interesting? Right? Rochelle at Newton, 99 years compared to some of the larger freehold ones, right? So we have Viva, freehold, 235 units, same age as Rochelle at Newton, but the 99 years one beats Viva over here. And why so? Okay. For this case, I want you to take a look at the PSFs over here and the PSF over here to give you a sort of clue what is the gap that Rochelle has provided to the market. Okay. Next up, another interesting one is Iridium. Okay, 45 units. Okay, freehold 45 units. Honestly, if I didn't see this data over here, I would perhaps have sort of written it off as sure lose money. Some more built in 2009, which is Bay Windows era. People have bought it at sort of a high, but he has done very, very well, sort of. So it's very, very surprising to me. So now let's see what can we learn from Rochelle and from Iridium, okay? So let's first start off at Rochelle, okay? Okay, but before that, right, since we are on this topic and since we have already seen River Valley and Newton, okay, I want to share with you guys this. So over in River Valley, one of the downsides is that they don't really have the top tier school. We have River Valley Primary. While the name is very atas, it's not exactly one of the top tier school. But Novena, Newton, right, we have ACS Junior, ACS Primary, and we have SJI, okay? But you notice over here, the percentage annualized profits of transaction in 2021, notice how generally the River Valley area beats out Newton, Novena. So that is just to understand, answer the whole question on does proximity to good schools matter. If we look at this particular case studies, the answer is no. As a matter of fact, a better, more premium area, District 9 compared to District 11 will still help your property win out in terms of profits. Okay, that's just to answer the whole school's question in case I forget to answer this later, later on. Now let's dive into Rochelle. So like just now what I shared, right? I feel Rochelle managed to do well, managed to gain profits is because of its PSF. Even though it's 99 years, not terribly big 100 over units, it was priced well enough, right? It catered to, again, right, the entry level, people looking to move into Newton, looking at 3 bedrooms, right? We can see over here, yeah? It is the larger units, right? The larger units that have been transacted, we have 3 bedrooms going at 2.5 million, which if you go to Viva, the prices will be quite a bit higher up. If you go Trilight, because the units are bigger, PSF higher, quantums are a lot bigger. So if we have somebody, why I know this for a fact is because I have served a client that was looking to move into the Newton Novena area, and basically Rochelle was the one that at least could have met their spatial requirements at their budget. Yeah, and that was the reason why they chose Rochelle. They didn't really care if it was 99 or freehold. Obviously, they would have preferred freehold, but because they were limited by budget and they had a certain size requirements, because again, remember, if you want to move there, it's for the kids and for the school, right? They cannot compromise that much on the size. If they had wanted a freehold, they would have compromised. If they had compromised on the size, yes, they would have gotten a freehold one, but because of the needs, requirements, the circumstances, they couldn't. So Rochelle caters to this particular group well, right? And I feel they have still a bit of room to go if you look at in terms of the average PSF on where they sort of stand, right? Based on where the market is and where they stand. So something to take a look at, right? That being said, actually their layouts are, I would consider basically just quite average lah. Right, they don't really have the 3 bedroom data, but actually if you look at the 4, I mean, don't look at this one. Let's see. Let's see if I can get over here, right? 1,700 square feet, 3 bedroom plus study. You come in, yes, private lift, but it's sort of the longitude, this portrait kind of layout lah, which is the dining and the living, so it's not the longitudinal, not the terribly grand looking ones. We have also bay windows and planters over here, right? So regardless, despite of that, they still manage to do well. Okay, so that's sort of the takeaway over at Rochelle. Now comes a more interesting one, Iridium. Okay, Iridium, just 45 units, okay? But most of them have done very, very well in terms of their profits. We can look at this one over here. You see over here, even a guy that bought in 2018, sold in 2021, right? 4.4% percentage annualized return, make 240,000, right? Not terribly impressive, especially after we have come over from River Valley, but yet the percentage annualized is still a very respectable amount, above 3%, right? So if you have 4%, to me is very, very good already, percentage annualized returns. Okay, and right, this interesting case study is because you might think, maybe the layout is good. Let me share with you a video over here. So this is a video of one of the listings over at Iridium lah, yeah? And you can see, tell me what do you think about the particular layout. Okay, so this is the 1078 square feet, 3 bedroom. I think it's a 3 plus study. Here, the balcony is accessed with a door. It's not even a sliding, it's just one door go out to go to the balcony, and the balcony is not exactly a very regular shape. View-wise, okay, reasonable lah. I mean, if in the Novena area, Newton area, not much in terms of view one lah. Okay, so you come in, so you see I think the living room is still okay. The kitchen is open, right, with the dining table right beside. So the heavy cookers you will not like, huh? Here we have the study room, which is I think still okay. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. You're going to come into a shocker in the next room lah. Over here. So this is the room. That's a queen size bed, and basically you have no space around it anymore. Yeah, you can see how tight it is lah, based on the video. And then next up, we will go into the master bedroom. The master bedroom is still quite okay lah in terms of the size, but I wouldn't say terribly impressive. Okay, but yet still make very, very good profit. So what is the gap that I feel that they have catered towards? Again, I personally believe it's a quantum game, right? Because it is asking just 2.2 million for a 1-bedroom, for a 3-bedroom within the proximity of the 3 good schools, right? The 2 ACS and SJI. Is there a market? There definitely is a market. So if you are within good proximity of the schools, the layout's not so good, but your quantum is correct, there will still be demand for it. So now bring me to the next question. Upcoming, we have new supply coming in. Layout will be better than what you see over here, right? So, but they will have a smaller size, but better layout. Do I see demand flowing over there to those particular developments? Personally, I feel there will be some demand over there because of the fact that people are willing to pay in the resale market, not a particularly new development, not a development with fantastic facilities, still willing to pay for it. Gives me confidence that the demand is strong enough for some of the launches in that area lah. Okay? Go back to the slides. Yeah, so conclusion over here, does size matter? Obviously, we have seen Iridium does development size matter? Iridium 45 units still do so well, better than some of the larger developments. So again, right, doesn't really matter. 99 or freehold, again, doesn't really matter. Conclusion, why is important, right? Over here, just now I have showed you some of the layouts, right, of the profitable units. So 99 over freehold when, right, if the quantum is correct. If, again, same theory as Quayside, if you feel that they cater to, there's a group that will buy, right? You have to understand your competition. If the freehold large development is priced significantly more and you cater at the correct quantum still for an entry-level 3-bedroom, yeah, I feel 99 over freehold is perfectly okay. But of course, if the freehold is priced well, yeah, and you can afford it, you go for the large freehold development, you can't go wrong. The development size doesn't really matter, as we have seen from Rochelle and from Iridium, okay? But what is important again, right? Layout, does it matter? You saw the video of Iridium, doesn't really matter. What is important? It's quantums. What's important is quantums, okay?